Hello world, hello YouTube, hello everybody. This is Prepper Princess. This is going to be a video about saving money on simple meals without suffering for those meals. So one of the first things that people do typically when they're attempting to save money on food, they'll start, stop eating at the restaurants and start eating at home. And what they do when they eat at home is they will almost immediately start to emulate the meals that they see in the restaurants. They're trying to duplicate those meals. When it comes to food, the biggest baselines, you need a baseline for all of your food. And the baseline for my food, the way that I do it, is I incorporate rice, potatoes, pancake mix, or carrots and onions to any meal that I'm able to. Those are the cheapest things that you can purchase year-round. I just went shopping. Luckily, I got some really good deals. I got a whole 5 pounds of potatoes for 99 cents. I also got some, what else did I get? Bread for $1, some carrots, some onions. I got 5 onions for $1. But so all of the prices that I'm giving you right now are rock bottom prices of the sales that I got today. So as I said before, typically when somebody is trying to emulate or starting to save their money, and they will try to emulate restaurant meals. So the normal typical dinner that you might see is something along the lines of this, which is steak, pasta, and corn. Okay, and does anybody know how much a meal like that would cost? So a meal like that would cost, bam, $5.25. All right. Again, this is being done with my rock bottom prices. The London broil I got on sale for $3.99 a pound, so I'm rounding it up to $4. That type of thing. So this type of meal is going to cost the typical person $5.25. So then they think, first of all, I'd like to say that's amazing, great, good for you. You stopped shopping at restaurants and you're starting to eat at home more. That saved you, that made a $25 meal into $5. So let's take it a step further. I do only have one shot at this. So here's a way that you can change things up. So we already have the corn. Corn's not going to change. So instead of pasta for 75 cents, what I opted for was just to cut up a potato and fry it with different spices. So I've got a cut up potato, and you can do a lot of it with that stuff. You can do mashed potatoes and gravy. I just use this as, a reference. Pasta is starch, potatoes is starch, so I'm kind of doing the same thing. So when it comes to the meat part, that's where you can save the most amount of money. That's where rice comes in. And it's all about presentation. So what I like to do is I'll take the meal, and then I'll just put a little bit of rice on here. And this goes really great for spoiled kids and teenagers who think that they can't do without, and they want their big chunk of meat. And to be honest with you, you're already probably eating the wrong amount of meat. You're supposed to eat the same size as your fist from your knuckles down to your wrist. And that's what you're supposed to be eating for one single day. So I'll just take a little bit of rice, and then it doesn't matter what kind of rice you use, just get the cheapest you've got, and then I'll kind of mush that down there. And then presentation. So this is another steak. It's about the same size. What you're going to want to do, I wish that you guys could come up a little bit closer, you're going to want to cut it into small strips. So this is sort of like making something out of nothing. You take a chunk of meat, and people have a tendency to eat with their eyes, and they're going to try and eat all of everything that's on their plate. And meat is one of the most expensive things out there. So here's what I did. What I'm doing is taking, the steak, cutting it into strips. And what I've got here is, you just saw the steak. I'm just going to use my fingers just for the sake of saving time. Okay, and then you just saw the steak double in size. All right, just by doing this. I'll show you. Just by cutting it into strips, it just doubled in size, right? So now that one steak is about to turn into 2. I'm going to show you how. So you take these strips, I'm going to use my fingers just to save time, and then you put them on top of the rice. Okay, the good thing about using the rice is that it's going to soak up all of the flavors of the steak, and your plate is still going to be full. So it's going to look Good stuff. It's going to look like the same amount of food, and the rice is going to absorb all of those sauces naturally in the steak. So it looks more like that. Still looks like a somewhat balanced meal. I prefer more vegetables, but this is just, like I said, how the normal place does it. If the steak turns out dry, you can add a couple of drops of soy sauce on there. It doesn't really cost hardly anything. So how much do you guys think a meal like this might cost? I feel like the price is right. It's $2.20. It's not $1.98. Okay. A meal like this is going to cost $2.60 a person. All right. So you effectively just cut your price of your meal in half. I know I messed up on the potato, but whatever. So $2.60 from $5.25. That's literally half. All right. So let's take it further. So you've got all this extra steak, right? So you're only using half the amount of steak. So what you're going to want to do with the rest of it, the other half, you can cut it into little cubes, cut it into strips, whatever. We're going to put that in a crock pot. Okay? Oops. In a crock pot. Putting it in the crock pot. Putting it in the crock pot. Do 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 do. Putting it in a crock pot. Putting it in a crock pot. So, sorry I have to cut this up. Ooh. Sorry I have to cut this up, but I'm trying to do this as fast as I can so the video is not too long. So we'll just be quiet for a second while I concentrate on cutting. Alright. So, we've got the steak in the crock pot, right? So we're going to take bouillon cubes, just a few bouillon cubes, toss them in there. 4 cups of water, 2, 4. Okay, so we're going to add a couple of little ingredients. Remember that potato we used? All right, we're going to go ahead and add the potatoes with a couple of carrots. Bam, in the crock pot. Bam! We're going to add some onion. It's just one onion, just tossing it in the crock pot. Bam! So we're going to take that rice. Remember how I said to incorporate rice into potatoes and everything you can? Well, you can take some of this rice. It's not, you know, it's not rocket surgery. You don't have to have a recipe or a formula. Just put a little bit of rice in there. Rice. Okay, the rice is going to be pretty much free because you're not really going to do much with it anyway. So how much do you guys think that's going to cost? Anybody? Anybody? No? Nobody? Okay. Well, let's do one thing first. It's going to make 4 servings of soup with those 4 cups. You know, all of the juices are going to go together. It's going to be really good. It's going to make 4 servings. So 1 serving for 4 people. So let's add a grilled cheese sandwich. Bam! Okay, so you've got a cup of soup and a grilled cheese sandwich. It's a good homey meal. Makes people feel warm in the heart. How much do you guys think it's going to cost? How much? Bam! 73 cents per person. That includes... Oh, I did that wrong. Sorry. That's sorry. 89 cents. 89 cents a person. So I put the breakdown of the ingredients on the back, just in case anybody asks. So here's the breakdown of the ingredients. I forgot the rice, which is like 5 cents, so that's hardly anything. But 89 cents a serving. That includes the grilled cheese sandwich. I got my grilled cheese. That was on sale too today, 99 cents for a pack. And then I got $1 bread. So what we essentially did was we took one meal for $5.25. We turned it into 5 different meals for, I don't know, you take the 260 plus 89 divide by 5, so $3 divided by 5, let's say 80 cents. I don't know. I can't do the math when I'm doing this video and I don't have a calculator on me. So that's how you pinch a penny until it screams. This is just being used as an example, and breakfast is coming up next. Do what you can with what you've got. Prepper Princess out.